Bam! Jayson Waller here with the BAM Podcast. That's right, Business and Money Podcast. You want to make money? You want to conquer business? You want to go ahead and get that mindset right to take you to the next level and level up? You got to listen to the show. We're going to have all kinds of guests on there, billionaires, millionaires, athletes, actors, you name it. We're going to have them on here. They're going to be talking about their success, their struggles, their life, their hardship. I'm going to talk about my success, my struggle, my life, my hardship. So tune in. BAM! Welcome to the BAM Podcast. That's Business, Attitude, Money. That's right. Top 5 entrepreneur podcast. Super excited. Brought my services here to fucking Utah to see my dude, my brother, and hopefully one of my mentors here. Kenton, how you doing, brother?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, this fucking view is unreal.
Thank you.
Now, people don't know the funny story of us getting here, though.
Yeah.
So the Uber driver took us on a fucking dirt road, and I believe we ended up on a path you're not supposed to drive on.
No.
In a little shitty car.
On a dirt road.
On a dirt road, on the mountain above your house. Right?
Yeah.
And I was nervous. He was backing out. I thought we were going to roll and die. And you're like, I can see you guys. You're fine. Come down.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about sliding down in my fucking cool ass shoes here, but I'm glad we fucking made it. And this is like, too bad we can't get the sunset, but oh my God.
You know what? We might get you the sunset. Maybe we'll get you some B-roll so that everybody can see the
That'll
sunset.
be nice because this is fucking dope. Now, listen, we had a podcast come out recently and we talked about some good points. I had some good feedback from people about learning some things, learning about you, opening businesses, overcoming challenges, learning about, being on TV and what that's like and how you only made fucking $10,000 the whole damn thing. And people think when you're on TV, you're rich. No, you're rich by building businesses or building your brand and doing big things. But the video on that sucked. It was the internet or something. And so we talked about it and I said, look, I'll come out there. We'll fucking do it up.
You jumped on a plane, man.
I did.
You jumped on and you came
I told
out.
you, man, I fucking don't talk about it. I fucking do it, right?
I love it.
And so I'm here and you've got a couple big things happening in your life. You've got a huge event coming up that I want to bring up on the show. But first I want to bring up again. You said, I think the number was 30 businesses that you've opened?
We're at 34 now. 34 businesses. I've either started, launched, or bought. But yeah, 34 companies.
What's been your best exit?
Man, that's a really good question. I don't
You kiss and tell, right?
Yo, absolutely.
Okay.
Man, I'll tell you what my best exit's going to be. Recently I bought into Dirty Dough.
Yeah. Which by the way, I had the cookie. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Oh my God. Good.
We actually bought into that, but I would tell you that will be my best exit. That's going to be an absolute awesome setup for us. All of my companies, and we actually talked about this last on my podcast, all of my companies, I've never really done a company that's done over $10 million. So with that said, my exits are anywhere from, $250K to $3 or $4 million. It's never been something huge.
But you're looking for that now, huh?
I am. Now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser.
You're still a young man,
I'm
35.
I'm 35.
Make me feel old as fuck. I got grandkids.
But I have exited quite a few. I think I've sold 18 of those 35 companies. And I've closed some of those companies. Every company that I ever started has made money.
That's good.
Not every company has been wildly successful, but every one of them have made money. I've actually never had a failed quote unquote company. And some of them I still own. Even today, I operate 6 companies now.
That's busy considering you have your Limitless Society, which has how many members now?
We have over 1,000 members in Limitless.
1,000. So you're having to help mentor, coach, groom,
uplift,
elevate 1,000 people and run 6 companies. How the fuck do you do that?
So I tell people this all the time. The greatest piece of advice I've ever given somebody when you have multiple companies is you need to make sure that your infrastructure is set up and people are put in the right place to do the role.
Right.
Now, for me, even in Limitless Society, I have a CEO. I have a CEO in every one of my companies. So I'm not the guy that's in there doing the day-to-day. I'm lucky enough to be the captain at the helm that's making the call from 30,000 feet. Right. Most people, when they start a company, they do need to be in the day-to-day. They do need to be the CFO and the CMO and the CEO. But as soon as you possibly can, you want to get out and put the right person in that role. Because I will say this, I think a common denominator for entrepreneurs is you're real good at big picture stuff. You're real good at creating and inspiring and moving and pushing, but you're probably not the best at CPA and financials and marketing, and all those little pieces. So find the people you can put in the roles to do those things. So I've essentially placed about 1 hour a week on each one of my companies. And that hour is usually me talking with my CEO of that company.
And then you go over problems. So I used to have, the company I ran before had 2,400 employees, 6 executives and 33 directors.
Wow.
Right. And so I would get on an executive call twice a week where me and the other 5 would get on there. They would go over the State of the Union, what they had. And then we had a director's call that those executives, they had 2 director's calls a week, one with those executives, one where I would jump on and listen and say things or comment on things that I wanted to know or be involved in.
Yeah.
And it is hard as an entrepreneur, especially if you build a big, giant business. It's hard to let things go because naturally we're control freaks, right?
Yeah.
The listeners out there, the viewers out there, naturally they're like, this is my fucking baby. This is my life savings. This is what I do for a living. What am I going to do? I don't know if I trust that guy. I don't know. And what I learned, and it took me several years, so I'm glad you got it young, but it took me probably 4 or 5 years ago. So I was in my late or 30s when I said, holy fuck, I've got to let some of this go.
Have to.
And empower other people because I can't grow if I have to manage everything, and they can't grow if I'm covering them and the sun's not hitting them and they can't grow and shine. Absolutely. You agree?
100%. And you also can't micromanage people. I tell people, I will give you a rope. You either take a walk with it or you hang yourself with it. Yeah. You show me what your value is in my company and I will pay you and it will be the greatest job of your life. But if you don't do what you supposedly say that you can, you'll also get fired quick.
The cookie was really good.
Good.
They named a cookie after you, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
Real quick.
So what we do at Dirty Dough is every single week, most people are very familiar with the crumble model.
I am. That's the one crumble. I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Essentially, Dirty Dough is the same type of model where you go into the store and you buy cookies, and every single week you have a different variety of a cookie. And then for the ones that are, the staple cookie, which is chocolate chip or peanut butter, we keep those. And every single month, I think we rotate with different flavors and different things. Well, when I came on, I said, listen, I'm a huge fan of bodybuilding. I'm a huge fan of weightlifting. And I know that when I have my cheat meals, they're bad, but I want to have a lot of protein. So I came out with a cookie that was 25, 30 grams of protein. Now, you asked me when I gave it to you, is it healthy? I said, absolutely not. But for those who are interested, if they want to have a good cheat meal and have it high in protein, this is a great option. And it's delicious.
It was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, the cookie was like that damn big, dude.
Yeah, they're big.
And I think I only left like that much left.
Yeah.
I was good. Like, I mean, I don't even need dinner. I don't get dinner. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of cookie, right? But hey, I was starving too, bouncing around and going up the fucking mountain. I was starving. So listen, I've been picking your brain and I appreciate you telling me this. And I'm a big fan of people leaving their egos to the side.
Absolutely.
When you hear somebody's story, anybody's story, everybody's got their accomplishments that they've had and their struggles that they've had. And everybody's got things that they're great at and things that they're not so great at. And I believe in community and I believe in learning from other people, regardless of their position, age, or any of that stuff. And so me here also today, picking your brain about, because I've got my BAM, my Battlefield Attitude Mastermind that I'm building out with the one-on-one coaching and the group coaching. And I'm picking your brain and some others, but really I'm intrigued by yours the most because we're similar. We both are entrepreneurs. Yeah. We both built big, you built a shit ton of companies. I built a couple big companies. And so to hear your story, and I want you to share it here with the listeners, of how you were able to really get into this game and realize that, hey, it's fulfilling to you, it's empowering to you, it's exciting to you, and it's a good business. And how you've grown it, it's inspired me to go, fuck, well, that's pretty much the blueprint. I'm a big believer of you see somebody do something, you go, how can I piggyback off that or learn from them or ask, how can I get to that point? And everybody has their own little different journey. Yeah. But to see you go from that to what you're doing now. I mean, we were talking today, our favorite speaker, and no offense to anybody else, because we both love Ed Milet and all the other guys. but it's ET.
Yeah.
Like ET's always the one, if I fucking wanted to get my fucking shit going, and shout out to you, E, I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I would listen to him. And, you know, he's a friend of mine. I can text him. We talk all the time. And you've got all the largest speakers, including him, and you get to see him speak. It's like to see and hear that journey from you to start this coaching. I want you to talk a little bit about what you told me earlier to the point now to where this is one of your biggest businesses.
Yeah. So, you know, from the time I was 21, my father passed away when I was 21, and he used to drill into us. There was 5 kids. He used to drill into us, go to school, get your education, start a 401k, and do the 9 to 5, and then retire at 65, and then live your life from 65 till you die. And when he passed away, everything he taught was bullshit. There was no safety in anything that he did. So I knew from that day moving forward, I was never going to be able to sell on somebody else's ship.
Yeah.
So I made a decision that I ultimately would either sink on my own, but I would never sell on anybody else's, but I could not work for anyone ever